Good morning, all you lovers of good weather, bad weather, extreme weather, and everything in between. Welcome to this update, and today we're going to take a look again at our 8 to 14 day temperature outlook. And we're kind of doing the same thing every day until we get some major extreme weather breaking out, like a cold front, for example, our first major cold front of the year. So here's our 8 to 14 day temperature outlook, and this is issued yesterday. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Yesterday. And this is going from November 14th to the 20th. And again, heat remains in the east, cool in the west. A lot of precip for the majority of the country, with the exception of the East Coast and the Gulf Coast. Let's take a look at our 6 to 10 day temperature outlook. It's even hotter with a lot of warm weather, above average weather in the east, below average weather in the west in terms of temperatures. And again, a lot of precip. But let's get to our bigger story, which is our Hurricane Rafael, and see what the latest is with this hurricane and where it's going, how strong will it get, where it's headed, etc. And Hurricane Rafael has currently winds of 100 miles per hour. It's weakened quite a bit. Somewhat. It was 125 miles per hour, and it's moving very slowly west-northwestward at 8 knots, in other words 9 miles per hour. And ironically, well, let's just read it. It doesn't have much to say because I'll tell you in a reason why. Hurricane Rafael will continue to bring periods of heavy rain to western Cuba today. Flash flooding, mudslides are possible along the higher terrain. Number 2, Rafael is forecast to move slowly over the south central Gulf of Mexico this weekend and early next week. Interest in the southern and southwestern Gulf of Mexico should monitor the progress of this system. So again, it is kind of fizzling out as it heads west, but then it will head south. It's kind of a strange turn towards eastern Mexico. But it will weaken quite significantly. But the good news is we won't see any major USA impacts, at least from right now. Weather is always changing, even in its forecast, so we're going to have to keep our eyes glued to that. And let's take a look at our Jamstack weather model and see what that has, see if it has its November run out, and it does not. Let's review December through February, our sea surface temperature anomalies. We have that La Nina, and again a warm PDO, warm AMO, which means a warm Pacific and a warm Atlantic. Our 2-meter air temperatures are quite the story, though, in terms of how significantly warm it will be across North America, the continent of North America, and also Europe. You always want to look towards Europe for cold because that correlates with USA cold, usually because that signifies a negative NAO in Greenland, which means there's a big high pressure right in this Greenland area, and it suppresses a lot of cold air down to the south, and just kind of suppresses it. It has nowhere to go. It's usually in the north, and the big high shoves that all down to the south, essentially in the USA. Let's take a look at our NAO. I saw a story on Facebook that kind of confirmed my idea that if the NAO does go negative, which it is in this run, we could have a very cold start to the first 2 weeks of December. Right now it's negative. I wanted to see a negative for another 2 weeks sustained before I give any definite predictions on okay, we're gonna have a cold December, but I believe that's a great possibility. And last but not least, we're gonna take a look at some of our models of weatherbell.com and what they show for this winter. So we are going to take a look at our CANSIPS model and our seasonal temperature anomaly. Again, this is for, let's go to winter, December, January, February. Again, a lot of cold to the north. So really, there's not a lot of blocking going on in terms of the forecast models this winter. When I say blocking, I mean a big high pressure either over Canada or Western Canada, which would signify negative EPO. And we'll get into that later on in my updates, what that means as winter progresses and comes more close. But no blocking in the North Atlantic either. So that's kind of why we have a lot of cold air displaced north and not across the majority of the country. So just want to give a little quick tidbit on what's going on Again, not much is going on since Rafael isn't going to be a major hurricane affecting the USA. And again, winter's pretty not far away, but there's nothing going on right now that would indicate, okay, here's our early freeze. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching. Have a great day and peace out. Take care. Bye bye.